Morning, people. Hope everybody's been doing good since the last time we came together and I made a video. I'm out here in Washington, D.C. going under this 395 tunnel right now. Out here on my early morning Uber grind. So, you know, being an Uber driver, you got to keep the face mask on. Just trying to stay as safe as possible, but yet my faith ain't in this mask. My faith is going to always be in Jesus, my Lord and my Savior, my protector, my shield, my provider, my everything. But, you know, it's been a while since I did a video, you know, just going through life and just dealing with certain things and different things. But I haven't forgot. And this morning, God, you know, put it on my heart to do another video. A couple people have inboxed me and asked me, you know, when are some more videos coming? And I couldn't really give them a date. I like to do things as I'm led, you know, being led by the Spirit of God, so at the spur of the moment. But I don't want to do nothing that I don't feel is not led by God when it comes to speaking to His people. So, with that being said, this morning, the topic we're going to talk about is letting God's will be done in your life. And this topic applies to everybody. Everybody under the sun. Letting God's will be done in your life. I know we live in a day and time. Take this mask off now. I know we live in a day and time where it's popular to do things on your own. You know, we live in a day and time where everybody considers themselves to be woke. This is the generation of people that's woke. People that's in touch with their ancestors, of people that's in touch with the universe, of people that's in touch with their higher self. And out of all those things that people are mentioning, God is the only thing that's left out of the equation. Why is that? With this new age wisdom that society is in such a hunger to grasp after, why is God left out? See, because without God, we are nothing. And you have to understand that in order to proceed. Without God, even the universe wouldn't exist. So the universe gets no credit. God gets the credit. Without God, your ancestors would have never been born. So while you're more focused on being in contact and communicating with your ancestors instead of with your Creator, without God, you can't even be woke. For everybody that's under this woke movement and who considers themselves to be woke, without God, you can't even be woke. You still got the shades on. You still see things through these lenses. Without God, it takes God to give you clear vision and to truly be woke. Not woke according to man and according to man's wisdom, but woke according to God. Without God, there's no way possible that you can be in touch with your higher self, because nobody knows you greater than your Creator. So without God, it's impossible to even be in touch with your higher self or to become the best version of you, as we put it. You can't become the best version of you without God being at the center of that motivation of you becoming the best version of you. It's impossible. So as much as we try to take God out of everything, we have to include him in everything. Because a wise man knows that without God, he is nothing. But see, a lot of people have too much pride to even give God that much credit to even say that. But as a man, because see, the Bible says every knee gonna bow and every tongue gonna confess. I'm gonna bow and I'm gonna confess now, because I know that without God, I'm nothing. I know that I can say that. And I'm still secure in who I am as a man, but I know that without God, I'm nothing. See, Isaiah 45:9, it asks you a question. How can the clay say to the potter, what is he making? You're just the clay. God is the potter. He's the one that fashions you and shaped you in your mother's womb before you even came on this earth. So how can you go through life without acknowledging the potter when you're the clay? Now, don't you think the potter knows what his intentions are for the clay when he's making that clay? And shaping that clay and molding that clay into the fashion that he wants it to be, that he designed it to be. The potter's the one that gave you the gifts that you have. Don't you think he knows his purpose for your life? So how can you ever think that you know what's best for you? You're the clay. You're not the potter. And you must always remember that God knows what's best. You have to remember that. I don't care what society says. You have to know that you are the clay and God is the potter. And the clay cannot question what the potter is doing. See, we have to get to the point, the same point that Jesus was at when he was on the cross. Because see, we come into certain situations in life that put us in uncomfortable positions, just like Christ was. And when we find ourselves in these uncomfortable situations, positions, and circumstances that we're in, we'll find ourselves asking the same question that Jesus did. When he said, if it be possible, if there's any other way I can go around this cross, being nailed to this cross and crucified for creation, if there's any other way that I can save this creation, let it be. But then he said, but not my will, your will be done. If there's no other way possible that you can find for me to save and redeem your people, then this is just the way that I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to accept it because it's not my will. It's not what I want to be done, but it's your will. And that's the whole purpose for Jesus walking on this earth, was to show us how we are to be. And if he could say, not my will, but your will be done, even though it caused him death, then we have to follow that same example when we find ourselves in tough situations and we find ourselves wanting to ask God, well, if there's any other way. And sometimes there is no other way. Sometimes there is no other way but to just go through what you're going through in order to get through it. Because the other side of what you're going through is greater than what you have to go through to get there. But you have to reach a place of maturity in God and humble yourself to the point where you can say, not my will, but your will be done. And that's what we have to learn how to say. You know what, Lord, I want this job, but not my will, your will be done. You know what, I want this relationship that I'm in to really work out, even though it's just not working out. I want it to work out with everything in me. I want it to work out. But you know what, Lord? Not my will. I'm going to let your will be done. I want to go here. I want to do that. But you know what? Not my will. I'm going to let your will be done. I want this new house. But you know what? I'm not going to move too fast until I hear from your spirit. Not my will, but your will be done. Because see, Romans chapter 8 verse 14 tells us that as many as are led by his spirit are the sons of God. It doesn't say as many as are led by their higher self are the sons of God. It doesn't say as many as are in touch with their ancestors are the sons of God. It doesn't say that. It says as many as are led by his spirit. It doesn't say by your intuition. By his spirit, you have to be led. Not your will, but his will be done. And as many as are led by his spirit are the sons of God. You have to get to a place where you allow his spirit to lead you and to guide you into all truth. Because his spirit will never lead you to a place where you shouldn't be. It will only lead you to his perfect will. So, Romans 8:28 tells us that we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to those that are the called according to his purpose. That's the amazing thing with God, that no matter what we are going through, he's able to take the good and the bad. It says we know that all things, everything that we're going through, everything that we're facing, all things work together for the good to them that love God. You have to trust and know that everything you're going through right now is working out for your good. That's the benefit of saying, not my will, but your will be done. Because when you do it, it's going to work out for my good. But when I do it, I will mess things up and cause myself to get into a web, or as Jada Pinkett says, an entanglement that I can't get myself out. That's what happens when you dance with the devil. You get yourself in an entanglement. When you say, I'm going to do things my way instead of God's way, you get yourself entangled and you make a mess out of a situation that if you had only stepped back and said, not my will, but your will be done, it would have turned out totally different. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to your own understanding. But in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Trust in him with all your heart, and don't lean into your own understanding. Because your understanding will have you in a place totally outside of God's will, where it was never intended. Your understanding will have you in a place that you don't want to be. Trust in him this morning with all your heart. And don't lean into your own understanding. It's not about your will, it's about God's will being done. We have to reach that place just like Jesus did. Well, he said, not my will, but your will be done. See, when John the Baptist saw Jesus for the first time, John the Baptist realized something. And he told his disciples, he said, he must increase, but I must decrease. And as a child of God, his spirit must increase as our flesh decreases. And the more we say, not my will, we're crucifying the flesh. But the more we say, but his will be done, we're increasing in the spirit. And we have to get to that point where we can say, not my will, but your will be done. Again, a wise man understands this and knows that he cannot become the highest version of himself without knowing his creator, without having a relationship with his creator. Because his creator is the only person that knows the full intentions. Your creator even knows you better than you know yourself. So there is no way possible you can become the best version of you or the highest version of yourself without a relationship with God first. And when you understand this, then you understand that it's not your will, but it's his will that must be done. Y'all be blessed.